All right, there we go. We are live. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Chris, and this is my channel, We Love Comics. And this video is for people that are interested in purchasing any of my comics. I got 7 Golden Age comics, and 3 of them are some big boy comics that, like I've said before, I'm trying to get a house. I want to make sure I get as close as I can to my goal as quickly as possible so I don't have to stress out until the last minute. So some of these books, especially the last 3, you're going to see some books that many people do not have, and I am selling them at pretty decent prices. So this is to help my cat Luna, and this is also to help us move. So obviously this isn't going to be a video for everybody, and that's perfectly fine. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do to make things happen, and that's exactly what I want to do. So welcome. I see Rush. He says first time making a live stream. Welcome. We got John. We got Michael. We got Jose. We got Jordan. I have posted the link here, it's also in the description, and I'll pin it to the video. I'm going to show the books. Now, these are Golden Age books, so some of them are a little delicate, so I don't want to take them out. But if anybody's interested and they want other pictures, I will take them out and do that then. But I've inspected these before, so I've given my estimates and grades. And if you see my grading ability, especially in lower grade comics, because I do a almost monthly PGX unboxing, I'm pretty spot on. Now keep in mind, they are a little bit more flexible and giving and forgiving with Golden Age books, but I would rather undergrade than overgrade, so this way if I'm wrong, you're going to be happy. So these are already on the website if you're interested. If it's for domestic only as far as the website. If you are international and you're interested in these or any of the other books that I'm selling or my mystery boxes, just contact me at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com. I also put that in the live chat, and it will also be in the description. I'll place it again. And if anybody can share these, it absolutely helps. Because like I said, we haven't been approved yet. We're still waiting. But once we find out if we are approved, we have 30 days. And I have to come up with roughly about 8,000 at this point. So I'm getting close. It was 24,000 total that I needed for the deposit to get this house at the price that I'm looking for. So in the past 2 or 3 weeks, I've been doing everything I can to make this happen. So I'm down to roughly about $8,000 that I need. So I'm selling some books I normally wouldn't want to sell, but you got to do what you got to do. So let me put on the video camera, and again, if anybody can share the links, it will help. So I'm going to give you a general idea of the book, what's wrong with it. And like I said, I'm not going to take them out because, you know, Golden Age books some of these go back as far as 1939. So these are roughly between 1950 and 1939 books. So I just want to make sure, you know, you get to see the cover. And if you want to know more about it, you can contact me and I'll take more pictures, no problem. All right, so the first one. This is Flash number 20 from 1941. Now, the top staple is detached in this book. It has creamed off-white pages. The staples, other than the top staple detached from the cover, are intact all the way through. It's got creamed off-white pages. It's got a little bit of a tear right here at the bottom. There's a little bit of a split, but it only goes about an inch, maybe an inch and a quarter up. There's a little bit of a color loss in the letter M. But other than that, you could see this book presents pretty well for a book from 1941. I would grade this book roughly about a 2.5 to a 3.0. And my cat seems to really like this book. So, like I said, I'm going to give these fair grades. But considering it's only the top staples detached from the cover, I think that's a pretty fair grade. I'm selling this one for only $395 plus shipping. So that is on the website if you're interested. Alright, next up, another early Flash book. This is All Flash Quarterly issue number 3. So this is a very early appearance of the Golden Age Flash. This book came out in 1941. The centerfold is detached, but the staples are attached for the rest of the book. And this is a very thick book. These books averaged out about 96 pages back in the days. So the staples are attached. It's just the centerfold is detached. Again, creamed off-white pages. There's a color break that goes from here to here. You can see there's a couple of tiny little pieces missing. There's a few stress lines, but not major amounts on the spine. As you can see, there you go right there. So again, lower grade, but I'm going to grade it pretty accurate. You could see, not a lot. For a book from 1941, you know, this is better than some Silver Age books, but especially with it being such a thick book, you know, back in the days, there were no bags and boards. So to be in this good a condition, you know, I'm amazed at how people treated their books. But I would say like around a 3.0 to a 3.5. So again, that's probably going to be around the highest book, other than the next another book I'm going to show you. So they're going to be like 3.0s and under. But still, if you look at some of the prices of these books, definitely hard to acquire and not cheap. But I'm going to sell these reasonable. I want to try and sell them to not get rid of them, but get them to somebody quickly. And of course, my shipping and handling, I send priority mail. I send well protected in a box, so you're getting no manila envelope or what you see on eBay all the time. These will be packaged well. You can ask any of the people that have ordered from me before. And as a matter of fact, if you have ordered any of my mystery boxes or any of these comics, place it in the comment section when this goes upload so people can see. People are going to be happy. So this book I am going to be selling again. I'm going to say about a 3.5. I'm sorry, a 3.0 to a 3.5. I'm selling it for $399 plus shipping. So again, very affordable book. This is All Flash Quarterly number 3. It's a very early Flash. All right, another one. And trust me, there's going to be some big boys coming near the end. But this is an early Superboy book. This is issue number 7. This came out in 1950, so this is the most modern of all the books I'm about to show you. So from 1950. Staples are completely intact. You can see there's, they're hanging on, but, there's a little bit of stress on the staple, but you can see there's no major tears or anything. And especially for a book, there's a little bit of a split at the tiny bit at the bottom, but that's it. There's a couple of wrinkles where a pressing could help, but there is, let me see if it breaks color. There are 2 that look like they break color going diagonal across this way. See, it's kind of indented, so I don't know how much a pressing could help that book, but overall, a pressing would absolutely help this book. And you could see the colors on the Superboy and the yellow really pop. So there's nothing major missing in this book, just some minor stuff you might even see in a Bronze Age book these days. Nothing majorly significant, but again, a very early Superboy cover. I would grade this book roughly about a 2.5 to a 3.5. Pressing could bring it up even more. So again, I like to undergrade, so this way you're going to be happier if I make the mistake and it's actually higher than what I said. I'm selling this one for only $425 plus shipping. So again, another great book. All right, this one I can safely say is going to go up in price because there is going to be a Green Lantern movie coming out. Whether it's good or not remains to be seen, so hopefully they've learned from the previous version of that. But this is Green Lantern issue number 11. So within the first 20 of Green Lantern. So this is the original Green Lantern. Now you can see there's some pieces missing on the top, but nothing major. This came out in 1944. There's a couple of pieces, little chips on the bottom. Staples are intact. You can see the cover presents incredibly well. But again, I'm going to undergrade these. So with the Green Lantern Corps movie coming out, not for another year or two, all Green Lantern books are going to be desirable, but this is definitely one to add to a collection that not many people are going to have. So it has some minor stuff in it, but not anything that's going to turn it into a 0.5. I'm going to predict roughly about a 3.5 to a 4.5. I think that's a pretty fair grade for this. It might go higher, but I want to make sure it's realistic. So this book I am selling for $649 plus shipping. And as you can see, again, it's got some minor stuff along the edges. But again, a book from 1944, before they had bags and boards. This comic was loved, and somebody protected it pretty darn well. So, books like this, I mean, it doesn't even have any indent along the spine, which is surprising considering how old this book is. And there is one piece, like you can see there, that's the most major part that's wrong with this book, is a little piece about half the size of a postage stamp missing there. So presents really well. Definitely a great book to add. All right, so now for the last three, and they're big boys. And again, let me post the link, so if you're interested in these, it is first come, first serve. If you get it, it will be mailed out on Monday, and it will be sent priority mail, well packaged. If you buy 2 comics in one order, I will throw in a free comic. And don't forget, I also am selling some of my precious metals. I have some palladium and gold bars, 1-ounce bars. And if anybody buys 2 of those, I'll throw in a silver coin for free. All right, so here are the 3 big boys. And again, if anybody could share the link, I'd really appreciate it. Here is, I hate to sell it, but I know this is something that's going to be very desirable. This is Batman number 5. There is a lot of significance in this book. Now, this, of course, is a lower grade. It does have a detached cover. And there is a piece right here. See where this all the way around? It's completely detached, but they kept it in there to keep it complete. So that piece is technically ripped off. I mean, somebody could add a piece of tape to it. I mean, that's up to you if you do it, because they don't consider that restoration, especially with Golden Age. It's got some damage along the spine, but it's not completely split. But you could see, for an older book, it's got some loving. But here's the significance. All right, it does have an early Joker appearance. You notice on Batman's chest what's missing. The first and only time Batman did not have his bat emblem on his costume. Whether that was done on purpose or not, we may never know. But this is the only time Batman does not have his emblem. Now, also, it is the first appearance of the Batmobile. So you're talking early Batman, issue number 5. It's got a Joker appearance, which obviously is going to make any book with this early Joker desirable. This, I didn't write the year, but I believe it came out in 1940 or 1941. If somebody could let me know about that, I'd appreciate it. It's the only one I forgot to write it down. But this is a key book. Now, of course, I'm going to grade this pretty low. I'm going to say it's about a 1.5 to a 1.8. So again, even at a 0.5, this is a very expensive book. But with all the keys on this, I'm selling it for $975 plus shipping. So this is definitely a book to get graded to preserve it. And not many people can ask or will have this book. Again, I hate to sell it, but got to do what I got to do to get that house. And who knows? You guys know me. I always find deals. Who's to say I can't find a deal later on down the line? All right, another Mega Key Golden Age issue. I'm selling books that I know people are going to want, and these are bragging kind of comics. This is World's Finest, issue number 2. Now, issue number 1 was called World's Best Comics. So this is the first issue of what has been known since the modern day, World's Finest Comics. So this is technically issue number 1 of World's Finest Comics. So this is a Golden Age Grail. As you can see, it presents well. Now, there is tape on the inside cover. But considering this is a 96-page book, it has a little bit of the corner missing, but not a major amount. It's split a little bit. There is color break and crease right there. You could see that. But again, from a book from 1941, this presents really well, and this is a very thick book. This is a key worth bragging about. Because like I said, even though this is issue number 2, this is the first comic of World's Finest Comics. And that's what it's been called ever since. So this is a big key issue. And obviously early appearances of Batman, Robin, and Superman. They are not actually together in the book. They are separate stories. But this is definitely a key book to own. I would say this is, and again, I'm going to try and undergrade these. I'm going to say it's about a 2.0 to a 3.0. Again, they're a lot more lenient when it comes to Golden Age books, so it could potentially be higher than that. But remember, tape is not considered restoration, especially in Golden Age books. So it could be even higher than what I'm grading it as. And people that have bought my ungraded books definitely will attest that I tend to grade very strictly and tend to undergrade. So I'm going to say, again, about a 2.0 to a 3.0. I'm selling this for only $999, plus shipping and handling. Not many people have this book. It's definitely one to have. All right, last but not least, this one I know people are going to want. Now, this is a coverless, and it has a facsimile cover, but a 0.5 of this book sells for over $3,300. Probably get it between $3,200 and $3,500 for this book, and that's at a 0.5. So if you sent this to CBCS, it would be graded a 0.3, or if somehow you can actually find somebody who sells just the cover, you'll get a married restore on it, but that will increase the value. But this one is one not many people are going to be showing. This is Superman number 2. So this is, again, like I said, it is a facsimile cover, but the rest of the book is complete. This was made in 1939. The pages are creamed off-white. Staples on the inside of the book are attached. So if somebody could find a cover for this book, that would add probably about another $1,000 value to this book, if not more. So I have to stress, it is coverless with a facsimile cover, but the rest of the book is complete. And again, a 0.5 of this book, you will spend about $3,200 to $3,500 for. So obviously I'm not going to sell it at a 0.5 range because I want this to be something that people can brag about owning. So I'm going to sell this book for $2,495. So Superman number 2, definitely a book that anybody would brag about. So those are the books. I want to keep this relatively short because sometimes I ramble for a while. If anybody could share the links, I'd really appreciate it. If you're interested in any of these books, I mean, especially that Superman book, I mean, even in a coverless, you know, look at Amazing Fantasy 15, what a coverless goes for. Just imagine something like Superman. Jordan says, hey, Chris, if you have any duplicates of Werewolf by Night 32, I do, but I'm not willing to sell those just yet because there's just too much of an up potential for them. So unless somebody wowed me with a price, and I wouldn't recommend anybody doing that, at this time I wouldn't sell them. I gotta keep some of my collection for my future because, you know, this house that we're trying to get is not going to be the house that we spend the rest of our lives in. So eventually we're going to have to save up to move into the next house, which hopefully will be the one we spend the rest of our lives in. So if something changes or they do an announcement, that's a different story. But as of now, I'm not selling a lot of key books. I am selling one of my giant-size X-Men number 1s. I'm also selling an Avengers number 1 and Avengers number 4. So those are all on the website, and even these. So again, I didn't want to take them out because they are delicate books. These, you're talking 70, 80 years old for some of these books. But if somebody wants some pictures, and they're serious about buying, and the pictures are what's going to make the deal, I will take them out and take more pictures. But like I said, I graded these fairly. I've looked at these books before. I try to undergrade if I can. And somebody's going to have some great books in their collection. So if you could share this link, even if you can't get any, please let me know. And Jose says, Chris, you have a... says, hey, Chris. Oh, actually, I already read that. It's Jose said, Chris, you have great books. Thank you. And I've been collecting for a long time. And like I said, I have between 30 and 35,000 comics. And you can see I have some books that people want. And very rare books, especially those last 3. I challenge, people to find 5 videos of people showing those books that aren't comic book stores or comic book dealers. I'm talking just a regular collector who's not a millionaire. I'm definitely not a millionaire, so I'm not buying like 7.0s and stuff. So they are lower grade, but like I've always said, low grade is no grade. Low grade is better than no grade because, like I said, a 0.5 of that Superman 2 is $3,200 to $3,500. And how often do you see them? So grade really depends on the book. I mean, there's not going to be any 9.0s in existence, at least that I know of. And if there were, you're talking probably $1 million or $2 dollars, and not many of us happen to have that as their spare change. So those are the books. I'm trying to sell some books that can get me some revenue because, like I said, I'm only roughly about $7,000 to $8,000 away. So I'm getting close, and if we do get approved, I have 30 days to come up with that. So I'm trying to sell some books that people are going to desire. So hopefully you guys can at least share the link if you can't get them. But if you do, like I said, I will package them well. I will make sure they're secure. I will make sure they get there quick. Mr. Comics 89, he's here. He's one of my moderators. He's actually purchased one of my comic book mystery boxes, and he can attest to it right there. Jerry P is another person that's ordered from me. Not mystery boxes, but comics. I'm very quick to give tracking numbers if you want them. They get there quickly. They get there safely. And there are definitely some big boy comics in here. So let's see who could step up to the plate and own something worth bragging about in a video and any comic book collection. So thanks for watching. We're going to do Jose Serrano as today's surprise subscriber shout out. Hopefully you will hit the subscribe button. You will hit the like button. And the share button means a lot to me. I have a GoFundMe page. I have a Patreon page. If anybody wants to help with Luna's bills and everything, it definitely makes the burden of getting the house a lot easier. And trust me, as soon as I can get this new house and we have a new place to live, I won't have to do these comic book videos anymore like this. I can start trying to get back into a normal thing that people know and love. So trust me, I want to get that done too. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. And don't forget, it's not you, it's not I, it is we love comics. I'll see you next video.